Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So today we're going to be taking a look at a biometric safe that actually works. It's for your nightstand or for your vehicle. It weighs a ton. This is the Pinewood K5. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Copper Jacket TV is proud to be sponsored by the USCCA. Check out that link down below. Trust me, it's one of the best things that you will do for yourself and for your peace of mind. Your USCCA membership gets you things like self-defense liability insurance that you can use in your home if there's a bump in the night and you have to defend yourself, or if you're out carrying and you have to defend yourself. All you do is you call that number on the back of the card. They will take care of things for you. Okay, so let's go and talk about the Pinewood K5. Now, I have a lot of experience with safes like this, either dedicated biometric, code safes, key safes. I have one in my truck with a steel cable that wraps around the seat, and if I need to take off my carry, so I'm going into a restricted building or something like that, it goes into a safe and not my glove box. I have my nightstand, my dresser, and I use a lot of different types. This one right here is definitely one of the better ones, but there are still some things about it that I don't like. So we're going to talk about the good and the bad. And if you guys want more information about it and you just want to check it out for yourself, just check the description box. I'll put everything you need down there. Okay, so let's go and start off with the exterior of the safe. It looks really nice. It's definitely nicer than most of the other small safes that I have. I wouldn't mind having this thing out. It's not going to be a big eyesore. It's got a nice flat kind of dark gray color to it. It has these black plastic sides. Now there's steel underneath obviously, but they put these black plastic sides right here just to kind of, I think, just add some extra look to it, you know, some extra shape or design. So the safe does look really nice. As you can see on the front of the safe here, this is where we're going to have our access points. So we have obviously the keys for your code right here, the check mark, the back button. We have the fingerprint scanner right there. We also have a keyhole right there, and we have a USB-C connection. So that's pretty much the exterior of this safe. If we were to flip this thing around, you can see on the back, there's really nothing on the back except for this little access hole right there. And that access hole is going to be for this steel cable. So if you want to run the steel cable from the inside of the safe to, let's say, around you know, the base of the seat in your vehicle, or if you want to mount it to a stud in the wall or into the back of your, you know, nightstand or something, you could use this steel cable and do that and add a little bit more time to somebody who is dedicated to taking it from you. So again, that's pretty much all that there is on the back right there. You guys have seen the front. Let's go ahead and open this thing up and talk about some of the features. Okay, so like I said before, there's 3 different ways you can open this thing up, and that's one of the things that I really liked about it, because in the past when I've used just a simple biometric only scanner, if it doesn't read your finger, you're just delayed, and sometimes they'll even lock you out if you try your fingerprint, it doesn't work maybe 5 times in a row or something like that, in which case you're kind of out of luck, right? So having a backup way to enter this safe is very nice. Again, we have the 3 different ways that you can see right here. Also, this thing is battery powered. Okay, there are 4 AA batteries on the inside, and we'll take a look at that here in just a second. Let's say that those batteries die. You can plug in the USB-C, so USB to USB-C or USB-C to USB-C. Plug that in right there, and it will give the safe power. So even if your batteries die, you have a way to access this, and I think that's great as well. You have the key, obviously, but if you want to use the fingerprints or the codes, just plug in the USB-C and you're good to go. And then again, you do have the keys. Now, like I said before, there's some good things and there's some things that I really don't like about this safe. Let me show you guys one of the things that I don't really like. Thankfully, this is something that you can actually turn off, but it comes this way when you get the safe. So let me go ahead and do the fingerprint reader here. Okay.
Already unlocked.
The safe says already unlocked, and it's fairly loud. Now, I don't know about you, but if I hear a bump in the night, right, and I need access to this, I don't want something big and loud saying already unlocked and sounding like a safe. I don't want to hear that at all. So all you have to do is simply hold down this 2.
Successful.
Tells you that it's successful. Now we can open it up again with the fingerprint, and it doesn't say anything. So that's one way that you can access it right there. And then with the codes, you can either enter a 6-digit or 8-digit code. So I went ahead and went with a 6-digit code. So 535353. We hit our check mark. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I set up this code just for this video, just trying to make something easy so that I could do it on camera. But it's not 53. It's 353535. So that's 6 digits. Hit the check mark, and it opens up. Now, I want to talk about the fingerprint scanner on this thing real quick because honestly, this is probably the best fingerprint scanner that I have used. So the code's obviously really easy. You put in the code, hit check, and it opens, right? But a lot of times fingerprint scanners don't always get it right. And so you're sitting there trying to fumble with it and trying to get your fingerprint just right for them to open. This one has worked every single time for me. And that's because when you set the code, you use your fingerprint 6 different times. And so if you're off just a little bit, up or down or something like that, it's going to record that as part of your fingerprint. So that means as you're trying to access it, you're going to get access because that fingerprint was read in different ways. So again, it's a good fingerprint reader. It's worked for me every single time, and it's really fast. And we also have a hydraulic lid, as you saw right there, which I think is really nice. So it gives you quick, easy access to the internal storage of this safe. Okay, so now let's go ahead and talk about the interior space of this safe. Now, this safe is big enough to hold 2 Freedom Seed dispensers, if you know what I mean. So it will hold 2. Now, I've seen the best success when I put 2 compacts in there, but if I put in 2 full size, it gets pretty tight. I mean, it'll fit, but again, it's going to be pretty tight. And that's because the exterior dimensions of this safe are actually quite a bit larger than the amount of storage space that you have inside. But still, we have some pretty nice dense foam on the inside right here that's going to protect everything that you do put in it. Foam on the lid right there. You can see the hinge in the back is nice and covered, and it's an internal hinge, so nobody's going to be able to knock that hinge out. You know, a safe like this is really a deterrent, and it's also something that's meant to increase the amount of time it would take for somebody to get your stuff, right? So obviously, it's going to keep prying eyes out. It's going to keep, you know, kids out. It's going to keep people that you don't want in there out. But anybody that's dedicated to getting that stuff out eventually will get it. But you want to try and delay them for as long as possible. You want to make it as difficult as possible. And there are a lot of things on here that will make it difficult for somebody, including pick prevention that has an alarm if somebody tries to pick it. So I think that that's actually, you know, a pretty nice feature. The alarm will go off if somebody's trying to get in there and try and pick the lock in some way. On the top of the lid, you can see right here that we have this, little loop where the lock actually goes through, and the steel is rolled on the top right here, and this is actually kind of set back. So getting in there and around that loop, even though it's pressed up here against the safe, is actually going to be kind of difficult for somebody. So I do like that feature. Now, this does have some pretty nice kind of dense foam on the inside of it, so it's going to keep your stuff nice and safe. It's also lined around the outsides as well, so you're not going to scuff or scratch anything up. You can see it here on the lid. So the interior space is definitely nice. If I flip it around here, see if I can find the right angle for you. Okay, so here's a better angle right here. So you can see everything from your battery compartment, which is right here. It's just got a little clip, pull that off, and you got 4 AA's in there. You can see that we have our lock inside of the steel, so that's protected. And again, that loop actually goes down inside of here, and then it locks completely. So being able to pick it is going to be really difficult because everything is contained in this area in the front right here. So it's a pretty good system. It locks up really nice and tight. And again, it's definitely going to delay somebody probably a decent amount of time. I mean, unless they're an absolute professional, they're going to spend some time trying to get into this thing. Now, you guys have already seen this a couple times, but one of the things I really like about this safe is the hydraulic arm that lifts up that lid. It lifts it up pretty quick, and it moves it completely out of the way. So it doesn't just give you a little bit of access to reach in there and grab what you need to grab. It moves that lid up completely out of the way, so you have complete access to everything inside the safe. But that's pretty nice. The only downside I would say to that is that it does take up quite a bit of space over here on the side. So here's what I'm talking about. On the side right here, you actually do lose a significant amount of interior space because of that hydraulic lift. So it's kind of a give and take. It's really nice. It's very reliable. It opens up great. But at the same time, you do lose some of that internal space that you could use for, some other things or maybe fit some bigger things in there. Now, Pineworld sent this out to the channel for me to test it out and review it, and I want to be as honest as possible. Now, this is a great safe. It's perfect for your nightstand, perfect for your vehicle, but like I said in the beginning, there are a couple things that just absolutely drive me nuts. Obviously, the first one was that voice that you hear when you unlock it, right? That says, already unlocked. Well, I know it's already unlocked because I unlocked it. I was there. You don't need to tell me it's unlocked because, again, I was involved. So to me, that's kind of ridiculous, right? But the other thing is, to me, even more ridiculous. And that's the fact that you get an alarm if you use the key. Now, we're not talking about if you try and get into the safe in a way or in a manner that it wasn't intended. I'm talking about if you just use the key, it sets off a pick alarm. So if you were to try and pick this, right, you were trying to get something in there, wedge it out, or pick it in some way, it's going to set off an alarm. And that's great. That's fine. If somebody's trying to get in here in a way that was not intended, it should set off an alarm and just, kind of make a bunch of noise. However, if you provide keys and this is a way to enter the safe correctly, why is there still an alarm? It's still the same pick alarm, and to my knowledge, and I looked everywhere, there's no way to turn this off. Unless you didn't have batteries in it, I suppose. But yeah, so here's the keys right here. Pretty nice keys. They're large keys. They're not the small ones that you're going to lose. But I'll show you. If we just simply put the key in, as intended, like I said before, you get a pick alarm. It says system locked, and it has a nice loud alarm. Now, the only way to turn that alarm off that I know of is to input a code or use your finger or something to stop that alarm. Now, even though it's got those weird quirks like the pick alarm for the key and the voice that talks to you after you open it, thankfully you could turn that off again by holding down 2. I still highly recommend this safe. This safe worked out really well for me. I like it. It's got a lot of great features. It's probably got the best fingerprint reader that I've used on any biometric safe. It's worked every single time without fail whatsoever. And again, the fact that you have multiple backups, batteries, USB-C, and so forth means you're always going to be able to get into it. Multiple ways to mount this thing and lock it down. It's got 4 holes at the bottom that you can screw in and mount somewhere. It's got this steel cable so you can, mount it in your vehicle or hard mount it to something else. And it's really nice. It's fairly thick. Again, I believe it's a 10 gauge steel, so it's a nice thick steel. It has all of the, important components wrapped inside of the safe itself. So again, your hinges are inside the safe and not accessible on the outside. The locking mechanism is housed in this front housing area right here. Once that hook goes down in there and it engages with that locking system, all of it is contained in this front compartment, which is not accessible through this little lip right here. And this lip actually does have, kind of a fold to it. I know it's kind of difficult to see now, but it's kind of a fold to the steel, which is going to make it a little bit harder to pry open as well. So it's a nice safe. It does what it's supposed to do. It keeps people, keeps people's hands off of things that you don't want their hands on. And it definitely works. So it's definitely worth checking out. And I want to thank you all very much for watching. Please like, subscribe. You guys have a great day.